Howdy folks, welcome to episode 16. We need to get the ironworks going because, yeah, which is over here, because we did the other stuff over here. So we, if I remember correctly, and sorry, it was a week off, it was last week of school, so it was really busy and everything. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. But actually, it was that, between that and there was just a lot of really good flying days, and you got to get those in while you can. The weather does not cooperate all the time, so when it does, that's, you know. Anyway, we're going to get the ironworks going, and so what we need there is we need, let's see if it'll let me. We need the iron, the raw iron, and we need coal, and we need lumber. And then we're going to need the logging cars and the box cars here to take stuff out once we're done. What we're going to want to do, our goal here is to get the gold working too. And so we need rails for that. Okay, we don't even need pipes for that. What do we need for that? We need the tools, that's what it is. Okay, so we do need to get the tools going. So we're going to need more coal. We're going to have to go to the coal mine to pick up coal. And the thing is, yeah, see, we're going to want to bring more lumber to the coal mine. Because, as you see, we're empty. We might as well just bring a bunch of lumber there. Did we? Yeah, see, we have a ton of cars over here. Stake flat cars, stake flat cars. Okay, so these are the flat cars. And those are going to... those are going to be the ones that we want to bring over to where we're at now, practically. Yeah, the logging, not the logging camp, the sawmill. Okay. And we have 24 of those at the I think that'll actually, yeah, we can do that. We can bring 24. So what do we need? Eight cars? We need 8 cars to do that. All right, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to come back to here. Whoops, let's just do this. We'll fast travel the old-fashioned way. We earn it. But anyway, yeah, let's go like this. Is this our hopper cars? These are our hopper cars. Okay, so we're going to need the hopper cars at the thingy. Are we going to want... We're not going to want these cars. These are all cattle cars and stuff. Ventilated box cars? What does the ventilated box car carry? I mean, these we're just going to want to sit over here somewhere, right? So let's go like this. I think what we need to do is put these off on a siding. I feel like I'm way too close in this. Yeah, we need to stick these off on a siding somewhere. And we don't have one. So let's do that first. I know, I'm super organized, right? We're going to take... Yeah, I really want to just put it here. Off to the side of this, or off to the side of that. Is where I really want to put it. So let's go like this. Why don't we do this? Whoops, I don't want that. I want this. We're going to take out that piece of track. And we're going to make a switch. We're going to do a right switch. And then we're going to go number 8. There we go. So it connects, but probably... Did it? It didn't. Is it not connecting? That is weird. What happened there? Let's try this again. There we go. That was weird. Let's try this again. See what happens here. Right switch. We're going to hook it on here. There. That was weird. Okay. Anyway, and we're probably going to have to take out the telegraph office, which is fine. We'll just put one here. What is that? Buildings. Telegraph office. We're going to do this. Yeah, we'll just put it here. We're going to take this one out. Demolish. bridges, facilities. There. There we go. Okay. And let's take that off of there just so that we don't accidentally delete something. All right. Then we're going to go back to this. We're going to hook this back up, and then we're going to make a little siding. So let's go like that. And then let's get our siding over here, because then we can park our trains. I mean, honestly, we should probably put a few of them here. Let's go like this. I mean, this is a whatchamacallit. Go like this. This is a perfect place to put these. But we're just going to put in the first one. Or we're going to put our stuff on the first one anyway. Okay, let's go like this. Let's get up in the air so we can go farther. Is it going to let me? Oh, it's going into the ground. Okay, that's fine. And then that one. We'll get all these set up. See how far this one will go before it buries, right? And then one more. And then what we can do is we can drop off stuff on these. So we're gonna drop off all of our cars here. Let's go like this. Turn the brakes. Brakes. There we go. There we go. All right. Turn this down a tiny bit because that's going to be really loud on the speakers. So the other thing I had to do was they do at the airport where I fly out of, they do a fly-in pancake breakfast and all this stuff to raise money for the maintenance. And you know, for maintenance of like to seed the runway and all that stuff, you know, because it's a grass runway. So anyway, they do a fly-in, and this year, because I have a flight simulator, there's a guy at the place who has a little ultralight helicopter. It's like a one-person helicopter. It's really cool. Let's just flip the switches here. Flip them. Yeah, we're gonna go this way first, and we're gonna come out here. We're gonna go all the way to the right, I think. There we go. Okay. So anyway, there's a dude who has a one-person helicopter, and he actually built a second one of them, just the cockpit though, like with the controls. And so not the engine and everything, just the here. There we go. We can't even hear it, but I gotta do that. So that you can sit in it and work the controls. And then he used, he made his own, you know, used Arduino or whatever, and he made his own USB controls out of it, like hooked up potentiometers and everything. So, and then hooked it up to X-Plane 12, which is the one that I played the most of back here. If you recall from what, 3-4 years ago, something like that. A few years ago, I think it was 2019, 2020, something like that, when I did a bunch of flight simming, and I was flying the 737. Here. Let's go like this. Because we want to get this. Oh yeah, we want to go all the way back. Okay. We do want to go all the way back across the past the thingy. We're going to get this past the foul, because we're going to drop off these other cars first before we bring all the coal cars up there. There we go. All right. So let's go like this. We're going to jump out. So anyway, he uses X-Plane 12, which is the one that I use, and he does a so while they're doing, because they do like hay rides and all kinds of stuff. It's not just like come eat pancakes and leave. And people from the town and nearby the town and all that stuff come out and visit and have a good time and do all kinds of activities and everything. So he has this flight sim that people can, here you can fly a helicopter. And the cool thing is, because I wanted to practice, that's how I learned my ultralight, how to fly my ultralight, was with that sim. Partially, part of my training was that sim. And so it's the same simulator. And what I did was I built the scenery for our airport, my local airport that I actually fly out of. The scenery on it was absolutely horrible. I mean, it was just because we're out in the middle of the sticks, and so the scenery was terrible. It was just like a line kind of thing. You know what I mean? It was just like this. Look, you can almost tell it's a grass strip. And so I went to the trouble of making all the scenery, putting in all the hangars and the trees, a bunch of trees nearby. They actually had our grass strip running across a street that runs next to the airport. And so the cars just like, it was like two dead end streets, the street went like this, and then the runway was just cut right across it or whatever, so there wasn't an actual street, which was absurd. So here, let's get this past here. So what I did was I put in taxiway in that area, and so at least it looks better. These are the stock cars. Those are the ventilated box cars. Okay, so we need to disconnect this and hit those brakes. Okay. And because we're going to separate these out as long as we're doing all this. But yeah, so I fixed all that up. I made it look as much as the game is capable of, the scenery in the game and stuff is able to allow you to make it look. They didn't have a compass rose that I could put in, because I was really hoping to be able to do that. But all the other stuff, I mean, when you fly out of that airport now, you can definitely recognize, where you're at and all that stuff. I put in all the taxiways and all that. So anyway, so he flies with that, and or he lets people use the flight simulator to do that. Let's go back here, and during the thing, so people can see what it's like to fly that little helicopter, obviously, and not crash and die and stuff. Well, you crash, but you don't die, right? You just crash in the sim. So anyway, yeah, I saw that he was doing that, and I'm like, I got to do that with mine. And so I set up all my. Okay, that's weird. There's a giant gap in there. So I set up mine to do that. I spent quite a bit of time trying to figure it all out, because you gotta whatchamacallit. Here, let me get past this switch here. The VR on it and I don't think when I was doing the videos, I don't think I used my VR, because it's like, I think I might have done it like once, and it's too difficult for people to watch. You can't watch somebody play on VR because their head's moving all over the place, right? And the person's head is... Do I have that? No, this is the wrong switch. See, I'm too busy talking. So we want this switch, and then we want this one. But yeah, when somebody's doing VR, their head's bouncing all over the place and stuff, and you get motion sickness just from trying to watch somebody play. But the thing is, when you are playing by yourself, doing it without VR is like ridiculous, because you have to use a stupid little thumb hat to turn, and it's like, for example, when you're flying the pattern and you want to make a left turn when the thing is 45 degrees behind you on your left, right? It's 135 degrees technically. You know what I mean? So it's back behind you on your left is when you want to turn. And so you can't sit there with the stupid hat going like this. You know, going back and forth, back and forth. Did I set the brakes on this one? Let me make sure the brakes are off. I must not have. I don't think I did. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. All right. So anyway, here, let's get this moving. And there we go. We're going to do forward. We're going to turn on our generator. All right. So anyway, yeah, trying to do that without the VR is like insane when you're actually playing it. And so I wanted to do the simulation. And the guy that runs the helicopter one does that too. He has a Quest, I think, VR to set up for that. So I had to figure all that out. I had to figure out how to get it all on the network at the hangar and, you know, how to power it and, you know, all this stuff. And just make sure it actually worked. And I'm glad I did that all in advance because there was just stupid little things like X-Plane was like, I don't recognize this, you know, network device. So you have to re-enter your CD key, you know, kind of basically the key that proves you bought this. That this isn't a pirated copy of the game. And so, you know, just little things like that. All right, we're going to set up our switches. Do we have any cars? We don't have any of those cars down here, do we? Let's see which way this switch is going. Switch is going this way. Let's see. At the sawmill, we are just going past, right? We're just going past. So, what are these cars? Those are the logging flat cars. But we don't need those right away. Okay. Because what we're going to want... We'll probably want to grab the logging flat cars on the way back. Alright, do we want to come in head first? Do we want to turn around at some point here? Yeah, why don't we do that? Why don't we turn it around and back it in? Because we're going to need coal and then grab those other cars. So we'll do this and we're going to go around the... We get to go through the lake again. That should be fun, right? Instead of turning around at this one. Alright, let's do this. Let's get it cranking up. Let's get moving. There we go. Alright. So anyway, yeah, I got that set up. That's gonna be fun. And so then I let one of my friends. He hasn't done that before. He's flown all kinds of general aviation planes. He's a you know, mechanic and all this stuff. He's certified for all kinds of aviation stuff. And he's like super careful and safety minded and all this. All the time, you know, we fly together and stuff. And he's really great for that, you know, because it's great as a flying buddy because he's always so safety conscious and all this stuff. And so he gets in the sim and he's just like a kid at Christmas, doing all the things you can't do in a real one, or you shouldn't do anyway, you know, just flying 10 feet off the ground and making like the most ridiculous 90-degree bank turns and barrel rolls 10 feet over houses. The stuff in the sim. Oh, it was funny. I was laughing so hard about it. But I got it working and had somebody else to test it. Got somebody else to test it, so I know it's not just like that it works when I use it. Because that's like the easy part. The easy part, I can get anything to work the way I want it, use it, you know? There we go. I'm fine with, you know, having this duct tape and that, you know, having that held on with a couple screws that if you don't wiggle it the wrong way, it's totally fine. and that kind of stuff, I'm totally fine with using stuff that way. But you can't let you know, anybody else use it when you do stuff like that. So yeah, I had to get all that set up professionally, basically, or whatever you want to call it, you know, in a way that it was amenable to everybody else that was going to be using it. So the joystick and the throttle are all stuck down, you know, screwed on to the platform, and I'm going to bring out the yoke too, I think, and so people can use the yoke if they want. Because the sim has... Why does this look like we never... Did they change the... I swear, it looks like they changed the thing or something. Like we never... I don't remember that being that... I don't remember that area being that... overgrown. Let's turn on the bell. I swear that area I don't remember that area being so overgrown. Maybe this engine is just way bigger or something. I swear I feel like I'm not able to zoom out away from this engine as much as I should. I feel like I'm just crammed in with this engine. Let's see, do we... Look, we missed by like a tiny bit. Please keep your hands and arms and legs and head inside the vehicle at all times. Whoa, let's slow down here. Yeah. Too late. Oh, no. Oh, it's going to do that, isn't it? It's going to knock the whole... Oh, nice. Nice. Why did it choose to do all that? Okay, let's go like this. Wow. It just went to town on that, didn't it? Okay, so we're gonna re-rail everything on this track here. That was weird that it's not what we want. We want this. I'm still used to the G menu. We're gonna re-rail everything here. So let's go down here. What was that? Did you see that? That was great. All right. Is it gonna sit? The brake is on. Okay, yeah. Well, it'll sit. All right. It just went to town, man. Let's go like this. Re-rail. And then this. Re-rail. I'm going to try to get them as close as I can. Yeah, at one point he was doing something crazy and actually shouted, "Wee!" He was doing it. I've never seen somebody have so much fun on a sim. Well, and the funny thing is, because very rarely did I ever do anything like that when I was flight simming. Although recently I did try to... I took a F-14. Is it 14 or 18? It's one of the swing wings. And tried to see if I could just, you know, eyeball it and land it on our local run. Why is that switch that way? I swear that switch was not going that way. It was going the other way. Okay, and this one goes this way. There we go. Okay. All right, let's try this again. And then this one, I guess we got to take off all the brakes, don't we? Where's the brakes on this? See if we can find the brakes. Where are... I know it has brakes. Oh, there it is. Okay. Thought I saw that little wheel. All right, and then I guess we're going to have to turn on our lights to get the brakes on these. Because then we should be able to just pull this around the thing. So yeah, I took a whatever it was, you know, it's a fighter that goes like 600 miles an hour, and trying to land it on our little half-mile grass strip. I mean, you know, I'm sure with practice I could do it too, but somebody who's practiced could land it on an aircraft carrier, so it's not that unreasonable. I mean, the aircraft carrier is probably shorter than that. I honestly don't know how long an aircraft carrier is. Let me see. Hopefully this won't go bonking off the track. Okay. So then we're going to brake. Just to make sure. Okay. Let's try this. There we go. But yeah, somebody could land one of those on an aircraft carrier. You can hit it. They've got all kinds of instruments to do that. They don't eyeball it. Pretty sure they don't eyeball it. They've got instruments and stuff that they use to line up on the thing. I've watched like one approach where the guy explains all the little things he's doing. And it's funny because, you learn those one at a time. It's not like you just learn all that at once. Anyway. Let's see if we can get this turned around. Oh, that was one of the things he did too. He's like, I see how close I can get to skimming the water on the lake. And then ended up in the in the water. Like just under the surface was breaking, like it was doing that goofy thing where, you could see under the surface and above the surface at the same time. And you could see all the broken polygons and all that stuff. And then ended up basically, I've never done that. So I didn't know how it was going to behave and everything, but yeah, he was able to fly, like, to keep going, and then, once he got to the beach area, it was shallow enough that it just lifted him back up out of the water, and he was able to take off again. But it was hilarious. And the best part of that was, long ago, he actually had an engine out over a lake in an ultralight and ditched it in the lake. So I was giving him no end of crap about that too, as he was doing that. Oh, is that familiar? Not again. Just all those comments. All right, because what are friends for, right? If not to make you feel horrible. All right. Okay, let's get this switched, and then we're going to switch this back so that we don't accidentally go flat. I must have hit this one. That must be... One's all the way over there. That's great. Okay, anyway. All right. This little hill will give us a nice head start. Okay, and then what do we have on the map here? This is fairly smooth going. Yep. I mean, we have that, the switch is going to be the harshest turn we do, so I think we're okay. We'll just, once we get past this switch is when we'll speed up. We'll start working the reverser. Yeah, it would be kind of fun to do, if I were a different kind of videographer, or if I were a videographer at all. I don't know. I've got so many ideas for videos that just sit in my head because I don't know how to make them in real life. Getting the footage and then editing it and all that stuff, or in a lot of those, it's generating the footage programmatically or whatever, or rendering it or whatever. It's not something I can film. It's not something you see out there in the world that you can take pictures or video of. But anyway, yeah, I could totally see doing a we put a sim in a thing and let random people use it, and having people goofing and cutting it all up and showing people flying and having a good time, and then showing their actual what they're doing as they're laughing or whatever. I don't know. I'm sure that would make a great video, but yeah, I wouldn't know how to do it. And it would take me a month of like full-time editing like 40-hour a week, a month of 40-hour a week editing to make the one video. And then it would get like 16 views, you know. So anyway, but yeah, that's because it seems like that's going to be something fun that would be worth sharing if I were better at doing those kind of videos. Let's see, let's get this back down. We'll turn off the generator. I should retest that at some point. I know at one point I did test where I took a train with the generator on and one with the generator off and had a big bridge across the front of them with them at full throttle, and then deleted the bridge and then let them race down the track to see which one, you know, perfectly straight flat track, and see which one went faster or not, to see if the generator took any of the oomph. Wow, is this... Did I run out of... Oh, I ran out of fuel, that's why. Duh. Ah, that's awesome. I ran out of fuel. Because my boiler is at 0. That's great. Is I... See, if I would have tried to use the whistle, I would have noticed that. No wonder the whistle was so quiet. Is that... Is that going that way? It is going that way. Okay. Alright, anyway, I think we're gonna... yeah, we're gonna refuel this, and I'm gonna let this heat up, and then, yeah, that's gonna be it for episode 16. Join me in episode 17. We will, there we go. That was weird. Is it 29 per? Yeah, it is. Huh, okay. Anyway, yeah, join me in episode 17. We're gonna get all these cars fixed up and everything. We'll figure it out. Turn off my lantern. But yeah, we're gonna redo all this. We'll get our coal, fill up on coal, and you know, or bring these. I think that's what we'll do. We'll sit these off on the siding. That's probably a better plan. Yeah, that's what we'll do. I think that was what I had switched for. Yeah, I had it switched so we could put these on the siding. We can bring these back. We can go get all the stuff and then make coal and then bring the coal back. But anyway, yeah, that's going to be it for episode 16. Join me in episode 17, and we'll see you then. Later.